There are three core principles in universal design for learning. These three focus on the provision of multiple, flexible means of representing information, expressing understanding, and engaging in learning. Providing multiple and flexible methods of representation gives students with diverse learning styles and needs various ways of acquiring information and knowledge. This principle requires us to have standards, curricula, and assessments that are open enough that teachers have latitude and support in using print, multimedia, and other sources to represent information that students must learn. Providing multiple and flexible means of expression provides diverse students with alternatives for demonstrating what they have learned. This means there is flexibility in the ways that students demonstrate learning over time. There may be variations across a group of students and within an individual student across tasks, topic, and time. Providing multiple and flexible means of engagement taps diverse learners' interests, challenges them appropriately, and motivates them to learn. This approach to engagement focuses on the means educators use to recruit and sustain students' interest and engagement when the tasks and topics may be disinteresting to students initially. Engagement is a key tenet of learning, and engaging all learners requires educators to employ multiple and flexible means of engagement. Universal design for learning improves student outcomes by taking into account multiple learning networks as defined by CAST, the organization responsible for defining UDL and bringing it to the forefront in education. For example, as defined by CAST, UDL engages the recognition networks. These learning networks focus on the what of learning. Learners use the recognition networks to identify and interpret patterns of sound, light, taste, smell, and touch. In the classroom, the recognition networks are engaged when students are asked to identify things like letters, numbers, words, and formulas. Mastery of isolated skills is often restricted to the recognition networks. The strategic networks focus on the how of learning. These learning networks are engaged when we plan, execute, and monitor actions and skills. In the classroom, the strategic networks are employed when we ask students to complete projects, take notes while listening to a lecture, or conduct research and report on the findings. These networks are required for students to use what we have taught them to accomplish something we have not taught them directly, and are crucial in self-monitoring and self-evaluating. The affective networks focus on the why of learning. These learning networks influence motivation to learn. They are employed when we develop and communicate preferences as well as when we establish priorities and interests. These networks work in combination with the recognition and strategic networks to help learners engage actively in learning and apply that learning meaningfully.